before we get into this, quick disclaimer, yeah. When we cover these topics, yeah, it's all about facts. We have to go into facts. Now, when this thing first came out, it looked a whole lot different to how it's looking now. So let's go into this thing, man. So actor Noel Clarke has lost his High Court Liberal case against the publisher of The Guardian over a series of news articles which featured claims from a number of women. The first article, published in April 2021, said some 20 women who knew Clarke in a professional capacity had come forward with allegations of sexual misconduct. The 49-year-old actor, writer and director, best known for his 2006 film Kidulthood and starring in Doctor Who, sued the publisher and denied any sexual misconduct or wrongdoing, but the court has found Guardian News and media successfully defended the legal action on the grounds of truth and public interest. The meanings of all 8 of the newspaper's publications were found to be substantially true, the judge, Mrs. Justine Stavern, said in a summary of the findings. I have accepted some of Mr. Clarke's evidence, but overall, I find that he was not a credible or reliable witness, she said. In her ruling, the judge also said suggestions that more than 20 witnesses, none of them who are parties or have a stake in this case, as Clarke does, have come to court to lie, was inherently implausible. From the evidence heard, it was clear that women have been speaking about their experiences of working with Mr. Clarke for many years, she said. Lucy Osborne and Serene Kale, the journalists who carried out the investigation, told Sky News they had always been confident in everything published. I think that this is not a problem that's going to go away, said Osborne. This kind of behavior very much still happens in the TV and film industry and other industries. So I do hope this judgment gives other women the confidence to speak about what they've experienced. Guardian editor-in-chief Catherine Vinier described the ruling as a deserved victory for those women who suffered because of the behavior of Noel Clarke. She continued, going to court is difficult and stressful, yet more than 20 women agreed to testify in the High Court, refusing to be bullied or intimidated. This is also a landmark judgment for Guardian journalism and for investigative journalism in Britain. The judgment is clear that our investigation was thorough and fair, a template for public interest journalism. This is Clarke's response. Clarke described the result disappointing and maintained he believes the newspaper's reporting was inaccurate and damaging. I have never claimed to be perfect, he said, but I am not the person described in these articles. Overnight, I lost everything. He said he wanted to thank witnesses who supported his case, as well as his family, who never stopped believing there was something worth fighting for. What happened during the trial? We'll just read this last paragraph and we'll go in. So what happened during the trial? The trial took place from early March to early April 2025, hearing evidence from multiple witnesses who made accusations against Clarke, including that he had allegedly shared nude photographs of them without their consent, groped them, and asked them to look at him when he was exposed. Clarke also gave evidence over several days. At one stage, the actor appeared visibly emotional as he claimed the publisher had smashed my life with its investigation. His lawyer told the court he had been made a scapegoat and was an easy target as the star at the height of his success when the media industry zealously sought to correct itself following the Me Too movement. The actor had been handed the Outstanding British Contribution to Cinema Award at the BAFTAs just a few weeks before the report was published. Following the article, BAFTA announced it had suspended his membership. Long article,
and there's a lot to unpack. But just going backwards, the results of what the Guardian and others have done has totally damaged and ruined his career. So that's that's more than evident. It's measurable. Yeah, that's a measurable loss. That's the first thing. The second thing that I want to highlight is the people the gal was saying they were sharing nudes of them to other people. So my question is, how did he get the nudes in the first place then?
They must have sent it to him.
Okay, so all right, and so it's wrong to trade imagery. Yeah, we understand that. So if that's what he's doing, okay, yeah, they can say, yeah. This was in confidence. We were together when we did this, or was it 16 or whatever the hell you call it? You know what I mean? And they're sending them thing. It should have stayed within that ecosystem. If they can prove that yes, it was leaked to somebody else, then yeah, okay, you're wrong for that. No, you're wrong. No criminal, civil. Did this go civilly? I didn't hear anything about it.
It did not. No, it did not.
So how were they able to? This is so tricky. So what they're basically saying is that they upheld the Guardian with all of their might, with their lawyers and legal firms and standing, etc., for public interests. That's one thing he said at the start of the article. That all this was done under public interest. So there's no criminal charges. There's no civil charges. These people have now gone in on the stand, put their hand on the Bible and said, I'm going to tell you the truth. And based upon their testimony, they're going to say that, okay, all of the allegations are indeed founded. I'll give you merit for that. And yes, indeed, the Guardian was then right to publish this information. It doesn't make sense to me. This doesn't make sense, Mark. There's no criminal, there's no civil. So someone can, so what then? So someone emails CFR or Express Truth and says, yo, because we get these emails, we have these sums, and we always say, hold up, have you gone to the police? Give me some documentation. I can't have you come on the platform and talk this level of stuff without some kind of paperwork and auditable paper trail. So how then can we go to court with this thing? How would the court allowing this and saying, yeah, man, nah, you ain't get no damages, my youths. Yeah, your career's done. The BAFTA's look you off the thing, this and that. You're done out here, mate, for being in. Now, look, inappropriate behavior. Of course, you've got to be spanked for those kind of things if it's shown that you've done it, of course. But you can't ruin someone quick. This isn't Harvey Weinstein now, is it? They're talking about, yo, Noel Clarke had me in the thing, and he said, yo, to get into this movie. Remember, we played all of these kind of scenarios. Like, was he doing that? Was he doing the casting couch? I haven't heard any of this in the article.
It sounds like some fooling around business was going on, but let's really go into this thing because a lot of people don't seem to understand how the Me Too situation can be cloudy. So let's go back to that April in 2021. Now, the Guardian released these articles, yeah, and off the back of these articles, there was a lot of content made. You know, we were one of the channels who made content based off of these accusations, and we always made it very clear that he needed to have his day in court. But with this Noel Clarke case, the reason why I always use this as an example, because this individual was publicly dragged through the media. You know what I mean? Everyone had their opinions on what they believed happened, etc., etc. And where I think he went wrong is he came out too fast to defend himself and speak. And when he done that, he came out and he apologized. And that's where the great area was. Because what were you apologizing for? Because if you're not guilty for anything, what are you apologizing for? And that was the whole thing. Whereas for me, I just looked at it and I said, 20 women came out and said they had had this type of experience with Noel Clarke. So I thought, okay, 20 women, when you get into court, that should be quite easy to pinpoint because they're in a professional environment. My man's acting out completely, allegedly, and nothing came of it. Not even one of these cases, you know, was followed through. So for me, I was like, well, publicly, the man was embarrassed. Publicly, they said that he'd done A, B, C, all these different things. He had a partnership with Sky at the time. My man, you couldn't drive a mile without seeing a billboard of that police body cop thing that he was doing. So in my head, I was like, this definitely seemed calculated because for me, this is probably the biggest cancellation in Black Britain. I don't think we've seen a cancellation like this.
No.
My man was hot at the time, and I'm not going to say that he was the hottest thing or nothing like that, but he was doing his thing, and he started saying certain things, and I'm not saying it was because of that, but he started talking about inclusion and all of this. Then that article come out, and all I'm saying is, if nothing came of the article, if nothing came of it, and there were no individuals who were able to clearly present their case, he should have been able to continue his career.
Yes.
That's the way I look at it. And I'm not defending nothing. If 20 people have been in a workplace and have felt uncomfortable, there should be some sort of evidence that is proving this. There should be something. And the fact of the matter is, if you're working in an environment with a woman and you and that woman hit it off and she sends you naked pictures, yeah, yes, of course, you shouldn't be showing them. Of course, you shouldn't be showing them, because I think that falls underneath revenge porn, actually.
Yes,
that does. It definitely falls underneath it. But the facts are, people, this is the express truth, and we can't pity patter around these topics. A lot of these women wanted interaction. You know what I mean? They wanted interaction. And the facts of the matter is, Noel Clarke should know better. So both individuals should be held accountable. But there was nothing presented in court that excused ruining his career. That's the way I look at it. There was nothing I've heard that this man's career, this man potentially could be a working man, you know. Potentially, when I say working man, he's going to have to look a job.
Of course he is.
And he's going to be blacklisted out of the industry. He's not going to be able to do no sort of other movies or nothing. He's finished. You might end up seeing my man, and I know this sounds dramatic, but he could end up working a normal job. This is the biggest cancellation, and there were no grounds for this cancellation. There were no grounds, and I'm saying if I was him, people have to understand this is serious. I'm surprised a man like this has been able to get through this. He lost everything, and he's even lost his court case. I thought that I had to pay him something, you know.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Because as we've both said, there's nothing criminally or civilly that has been proven. You've slandered my youth's name. Yeah, look, so I guess they're saying that they're using the logic. Let's try to play righteous advocate. They're using the logic that, oh sugar, look, we messed up with Jimmy Savile. Oh, we messed up with Jonathan King. Yeah, we messed up with Gary Glitter. We messed up with Ian. What's his name? The Hugh, whatever his name. The geezer from the news presenter. What's his name? You know the one I'm talking about. And he was sending messages, paying people for grades. The most.
Oh, Richard. I know what you're on about.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. Yeah.
So they're saying, oh, we made all of these mistakes. So in this particular case, we're not gonna make that mistake. And we're going to nip it in the bud early. It doesn't make sense because if you look at it, all of the people I've just mentioned, they are, as we say, indigenous. Noel Clarke he's mixed race, isn't he? He's not. Is he?
He's mixed race. Yeah, mixed race.
Yeah. So he's the odd one out in that. So they saying, okay, we're going to do preventative measures to stop this from ever happening. Because if we allow him, if we don't punish him and spank him and take his ability to earn a living, then in 10 years' time, there's going to be 200 women, and it's going to be even a bigger scandal, and it's going to look terrible on me. I think not, Mark. I don't think that was the case. I don't think.
I think they're saying that he's black still.
Okay.
Yeah, see? I thought it was mixed. I did still.
I did. So I thought.
Not to say it makes no difference, but yeah.
Not at all. But to highlight the case that, so if you're indigenous, you can do all this. You can do all of this. You can, and this is what pisses me off, especially in the current climate that's going on. You're indigenous, and you can do anything. You can rob bank fraud. You can molest people. You can do all kind of depraved nastiness. No, go on. No, nothing's happened. There's no outrage. There's not people with Union Jack flags marching up and down the street talking about protect the people, protect our young children. Where's the outrage? There's no outrage until someone who has got a high concentration of melanin. And then it's a case of, okay, well, it's the season for the black man to be the devil.
Facts.
So we'll kick it off in UK. We'll go to the belly of the beast. We'll do it with Diddy. We'll do every time we see the thing. It's unequally yoked. Weinstein's out now, isn't he? Isn't my man out the penitentiary?
Nah, I don't think he's come out yet, you know.
He's close to be coming out though, right?
Yeah. They've rallied some support for him. Because I watched his interview on Candace Owens, yeah. And he was saying, he was basically saying that everything was consent. I'm saying what he was saying.
Yes.
He was saying everything was consensual, like he paid girl and rare, whatever. Well, let's run through some of these comments quickly. Rassan, big up, man. Sex pest business. I think he got the full extent of Me Too rapture. I don't think he was forcing himself on people from what I remember reading, but there was lots of lewd content and lots of verbally pressuring people to engage in rude talk, etc. Now, did he deserve to lose his whole career and to be blackballed? Probably not. And she and he should have known better. Yes. Aisha, Noel is a wrong un, but similar to Diddy, he upset the wrong people. Xavier, it's an interesting one. In my teens and early 20s, I was in and around the acting industry as an actor. One thing I knew immediately was that a lot of women in the industry are more liberal and sexually fluid too. As a man in that industry, you have to tread very carefully because this can be very techie, as we have seen already with Noel. Western, keyword, accountability. Saint, for context, the case is about libel against the Guardian. Libel is a legal term for publishing a false and damaging statement in a permanent form, such as writing, online posts, or broadcasts that harms a person's reputation. Unlike slander, which is spoken defamation, libel involves a permanent record and generally does not require the victim to prove actual financial harm to bring a claim. Noel is mixed. Is he mixed? He is Trini. Oh, he's from Trini. Nah, he's red skin black. Oh, okay, he's red skin. Saint, exactly, Noble. We have to be aware of the system dynamics. The game is different if you're non-white. Did you watch Noel Clarke's interview with James English? No, I watched ZZ, yeah, and I watched Winners Talking. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying even them, no one went hard. None of them, no one who spoke to him went hard enough. Because the facts are, folks, I'd say ever since about, I'm going to say 2019, and that's me being very lenient, but ever since about 2019, yeah, a man's supposed to know all sexual jokes, all sexual banter, or any of that should have stopped, because there was a movement that was building from then, and a lot of men fell victim to that movement. So the facts are, when you're on a set, on a movie set, and you're making movies and you're running that set, it should be damn near impossible for you to be proven of, to be alleged of doing anything, because you should understand that I need to operate at the highest level in regards to my code of conduct, because now you've lost. Matter of fact, you can't even put a figure on what you've lost, because you've lost the career that you worked your whole life for. You know, I was at the kidulthood. When that first release, I went to kidulthood. When adulthood first released, I went to adulthood. When brotherhood first released, I went to brotherhood. I went to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I went to all these movies my man dropped because it's a UK black British brother that was breaking down the doors in the movie world. And as a low level, because man was a low level director / producer. And, you know, I always said to myself, yo, there's stories that need to be told. There's a lot of black British stories that need to be told, and not these gang nonsenses and all this rubbish. There's a lot of stories that need to be told. So when I see my man kind of in and around the scene, I was like, yo, he's doing his thing. But mans like him, Sylvester Stallone, there's a lot of brothers who write themselves into these like movies, and they always got some love interest that's banging, and there's always a sex scene. You know the brothers like that. And Noel Clarke's one of them brothers. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to say it was banter because I wasn't there, but out of 20 women, nothing was ever proven, and he's lost his career. And that's why I say, me too, you can't get it wrong, because I don't see him coming back from, he can't come back from it. He can't come back from it. Because even with Jonathan Majors, yeah, he made a film called Magazine Dreams. I don't know if any of us have watched it. It's about a bodybuilder, and what I have seen in the movie, it looks really, really good. Like, it looks like a real Oscar-winning, Oscar-worthy performance. But based off of the cancellation, I bet no one on here has even watched that film. Have you watched it, Noble? It's been out for months. Okay. It's called Magazine Dreams. It's and look at the shape he got himself into for that. But it's a straight to DVD thing.
It will be.
Facts, D. He should have reached out to Express Truth. Real talk. It should have, because I
Well,
think.
no, Mark, no.
Go on, Noble. Go on.
Remember what you're gonna say. Remember what you're gonna say. But no,
Yeah.
they're not gonna do that, because who wants to sit down and have a real conversation?
True. Because people, if we sat down with him, we're not giving him no alley oops or nothing. We're saying, Rude Boy, how are you even doing this? How do you even get into this predicament of being accused of this in 2021, 2022, whatever the case may be? You got deals with Sky. You got deals with right now Netflix. Yeah, they can't release enough content. Like literally, they're going to the depths of Belgium and all the. Every time when I put on Netflix and I'm saying, let me put this. Oh, it's one of them dubbed films. I'm like, you man are going to the depths of Belgium, the depths of Sweden to find these filmmakers and
Africa as well.
Yeah,
Africa, China,
there's a bag of African
Thailand.
films. Asia. I mean, look, what's that film that blew up crazy? Squid Game.
I haven't even watched it.
Yeah, man, that's from South Korea, I believe.
South Korea, yeah.
So what I'm trying to show you is that right now is the time to be a filmmaker, because right now, back in the day, if you made a film, it was limited to where it was going to go.
Exactly.
We're now in a point. I was watching Spike Lee, $1 million worth of game now. Spike Lee, historically, not now, the last great film he made was Inside Man. Historically, that's one of my favorite. Yeah.
That's a Spike Lee joint.
You never knew that, Noble. You never knew that. Inside Man is Spike Lee.
That's dope. That film is dope.
Yeah, man. That's an original Spike Lee film, that is.
See?
Yeah, man. Inside Man, I went cinema for that. I went cinema. But if you notice, yeah, think about it. Inside Man, just look at the undertones and what it's about. Look what them man are going to get back. Look what they're going to get back. Look at the banker. There's a lot of hidden messages in that. That's a top film. But what I'm trying to get at is that I was watching Spike Lee on $1 million worth of game, and they said to Spike Lee, what would be your advice to an upcoming filmmaker? And Spike Lee said, in today's world, all you need is a phone and a laptop, and you can make a film. So what I'm trying to say is, Noel Clarke was in a position where he could have been doing direct to Amazon Prime, direct to Sky, because he's got a relationship with Sky, direct to Netflix, because that's the era we are living in, where there are so many movies that are being released almost daily. Like literally, the appreciation for films now in today's world is gone. Back in the day, you'd watch a film and there was an appreciation for what you had just viewed.
Exactly.
Now, as a man gets up, it's over. It's microwave movies now. And I'm saying, Noel Clarke, all you mans in the UK, rap man, there's a bagger man. You man are, well, not Noel Clarke anymore, but at the time, you mans were at the forefront to be representative of the culture in regards to films in the UK. And you've messed it up. And when you're in these places, remember this, you're a director, you're a producer, you're a writer, whatever the case may be, you can still have fun, Because I know sometimes when we get on here and we break things down, we can make things sound quite daunting. That, like you can't do this, you can't do that. You can have fun, but just don't have fun. Just don't have fun on set. Just don't do that kind of stuff on set. And what I'm saying is to a lot of these men, like you're into all sorts. You've took up the indigenous ways and the Western ways of pleasuring yourself. A lot of you man are you're into all kind of madness. So find someone who's down to do that with you in it, and just do that in it. Like Young Philly, this one, that one, whatever you man are into. Find someone. There's gal that do that. I remember back in the day when I used to go town in the evening, certain time. Like I'd go town and that, and they used to have this thing called the Rocky Horror Show. You remember that?
Yeah.
You'd see all the people walking, and it was like a mad. Mans was wearing like mad. Like it was just mad. You get me? I almost just said to my dad, "Yo, what's this?" And they was like, "Yo, they just book a venue, go there, and they do whatever they do." You get me? Like we don't know nothing about it or whatever, because we're not involved in that. But them man go and do whatever they do. They do it away from the public or whatever. And what I'm saying is, that's what you man should be doing. But instead, you get into these public spaces, these professional spaces. You see a little one girl, and you can't just leave her. You're saying this, that, you're saying the third. I get it. She might have sent you a picture of her front or whatever. Why are you sharing it for, fam? If you did, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't even be touching girl at work. Even if you
This is
work in Tesco, rude boy, you shouldn't be messing with nothing there. We're
What
in
you
a
say.
different time.
Especially the time we're in now. What people see, this is the thing. It's like do out thou will. Like it's like there's no consequences. You're at work. Yeah. Oh shit. She's giving me a number. Listen, I'm working at the moment. A holly after working hours. Yeah. You're working with Suzanne, and Suzanne's coming in looking thicker than Heinz ketchup. So you test the temperature because man can't control himself these days.
Exactly.
Yeah? You test the temperature, and then you're like, oh, that's the cool temperature. Let's get out the work uniform, yeah, and let's talk. You don't do nothing while you got the uniform on, while you're on the premises, on the outside having the cigarette break, and there's none of that business. There's a testing of the temperature, and then if you know things are going in, then you do your thizzle wiggle outside of work.
That's it.
Simple. There's no, oh yeah, we're going for the team meeting at Nando's. You come in my car and we can park up at the flipping in the car park first and have a little 10-minute snug. But fuck all that stupid shit. Go to the team meeting and then link up after work. Simple thing.
Yeah, man. That's it. He just needed to know better. You know what I mean? And that goes for any man. Like, you gotta control your, is it called a libido, Noble?
Yes, indeed.
You gotta control it, man. Like, if mans can't control that, just be prepared to fail in whatever you're doing, because you're gonna be in places where you're gonna see certain girl, you know. You see what I'm saying? And you might end up being in a position of power. People, I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to watch the stream in full, consider becoming a Patreon or joining our YouTube members. And don't forget to hit the like button, folks, and we'll see you in the next one.